Greetings, unsettled souls, and welcome to the Correct Views, a Samurai BB Gangi doing political commentary for the media spheres. Also, you might, sound getting away from me. You might know me from Teddy Stick and the Conservative Daily Post. I also write the Blasting News. I want to thank all of you for tuning in, and I want to go ahead and get straight to what I have because I think it's something you're going to want to share. I do want to mention two things before I begin. One, this is listener supported, and you can donate at thecorrectviews@hotmail.com. Every penny you give to me goes towards a better show, and at this point, as you can tell, I don't own copious amounts of gear, so your help would be greatly appreciated. Second of all, I wish to say that the Dunce Cap of the Month show will be happening next month, and I will be doing two shows since I did not get to the one this time as I had hoped. All right, friends, going right into it here. Listen to this as we go to screen share. It's from Blasting News. Many people don't understand that the tsunami that rocked in 2011 has created more than just a problem in terms of the nuclear disaster. Here we learn that the Japanese tsunami brought in 300 marine species to the west coast of the United States of America. And again, we don't exactly know what some of these species, the effect of them will be on us, but not only did it cause major damage to the power station, but since March 11th of 11, almost 300 different species of marine life, as I said, have made their way across the Pacific Ocean to the west coast of the U.S. The longest ever maritime migration, ever. Experts are now saying that it's the longest ever recorded in history. Around 1 million Japanese creatures, including sea slugs, sea worms, crustaceans, and other creatures, have traveled on amazing 4,800 miles, clinging to and hanging on to a huge flotilla of debris from the tsunami. Now, this is all fact that stems directly from the tsunami. It did not happen because of the meltdowns or the melt-throughs or anything else. It had to do specifically with how strong Mother Nature can be. And I mention this because we're still building these monstrosities all over. And this is some idea of just how very powerful it is. Go ahead and take a look here. In the study published in Science this week, and you can see the image here, or the video, John Chapman of Oregon State University said it had turned into one of the largest unplanned natural experiments in the field of marine biology, and probably in all of history itself. According to experts, the tsunami generated some 5 million tons of debris from 3 Japanese prefectures affected by the accident. Of course, it's Fukushima, Miyagi, and Iwate. While nearly 70% sank to the ocean floor. Some of the marine creatures traveled across the ocean as hitchhikers on a series of docks, buoys, boats, and other objects. It's a miracle they managed to eat the whole way as well. 289 marine species arrived from Japan. I said that because a lot of times life forms like that get eaten in the open ocean. According to the BBC, the study notes that between June of 2012 and February of 2017, at least 289 marine species from Japan attached to some 600 pieces of buoyant objects. And this is just some idea of the strength that we're talking about here. And a lot of these organisms, are probably going to be fine here, probably going to adapt well to our ecosystem, but we really don't know. And that's what Mother Nature can do literally with no warning whatsoever. How many of you out there have suffered the broken heart? Someone who has done you wrong for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Well, if you're one of the people who have, I think you'll find the next story interesting. And I mention it because we live in a world that is devoid of commitment. There's no commitment. People don't work their problems out anymore. They just leave. They cast off relationships like t-shirts, even marriages, which they profess before God. But because we live in a nation that has gone in a direction of utter godlessness, the oath that we make don't really mean much anymore. As a people, or God is somebody who we can just lie to as we wish, it seems. And I think it's taking a toll here, as you will see by the study which I have chosen to show you if my computer will unlock. Broken heart can cause the same type of long-lasting damage as a heart attack. Many people might not know that, but now you do. Severe emotional stress can prompt a sudden heart condition that poses the same sort of long-term damage as a heart attack. Again, it's sudden. It can happen almost out of nowhere. The grief of what you've gone through creates lasting damage on the heart that is comparable to a heart attack. This is an annoying sight to say. Remember, do something. I think it's Takotsubo. You try it. A Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, or a broken heart syndrome, affects at least 3,000 people. This is in the UK and is typically triggered by traumatic life events such as bereavement. During an attack, it says, the heart muscle weakens to the point where it can no longer function as effectively. While previous research has suggested that the damage caused was temporary, scientists at the University of Aberdeen have now found that the effects can be permanent, like a heart attack. So, I mean, when you've gone through some kind of grief and you feel like you're literally dying, that's because there's a real good chance that you are. And if you're someone listening to this who is a callous, rather uncaring person that treats the people around you and that love you this way, I think it's interesting for you to realize the kind of grief that you cause, because you may end up actually killing the person. Think about it. Let me go on the screen share real quick. Think about this one fact. John Hinckley was found to have killed what's his name? That got shot with President Reagan, his bodyguard, Brady. John Hinckley was found to kill Brady when he shot him many years prior. And now, out of nowhere, we find that pretty much the same thing's happening here. Somebody, by your callousness, and they die years later of it, you kill them. And again, I've just given you legal precedent to show where that has actually been the case. In the study, which was funded by the British Heart Foundation, a team of doctors examined 37 Takotsubo patients for an average period of 2 years using an ultrasound and MRI scans. They presented their findings to the American Heart Association scientific sessions in Anaheim, California, and revealed that patients had untreatable damage to the heart's muscle, which had reduced the elasticity and prevented full contractions from every heartbeat. That is irreversible, friends. According to another study, this is from the Harvard Medical School, more than 90% of reported cases of Takotsubo were women between the ages of 58 and 75. It's a devastating disease that can suddenly strike down otherwise healthy people. As Professor Jeremy Person said. He's an associate medical director at VHF. We once thought the effects of these life-threatening diseases were temporary, but now we can see they affect people for their whole lives. You know what, people? I think that matters. I think that's something that you need to think about. Maybe we should think about it in terms of how we treat other people. Because let's face it, friends, we're living in a world where divorce is as permissible as walking down the street. There's their commitments anymore. Nobody stands by their commitments anymore. And as a result, I think you can see exactly where that's leading us. It's causing a lot of problems, of course, that have nothing to do with medical issues. But just the same, I think it's very worthy to point out. And that takes us, friends, to the last story, which, of course, you know what that's going to be. It's going to be the dumbdee of the day. Don't forget the Dunce Camp of the Month, like I said, where I go through our dumbest people in the news cycle. I will be doing 2 of them. There will be 2 dunce caps being mailed out next month because I did not get to this month's. I'm busy dealing with issues of the heart, I guess. Yahoo News. Police stop car with massive Christmas tree on top. Police in Massachusetts town are showing residents how not to transport their holiday trees. To the picture Friday of a vehicle with a large tree on top of it. Almost the entire car appears hidden. The officer stopped the vehicle on Route 20 in the town located about 25 miles west of Boston. Police say on Facebook that reminded people to transport their trees safely. It's unclear if the driver was cited. I'm giving the Dunce Cap of the Month award to the police officers who had the tree on their car. And would you like to know why? I'll tell you why. How else are you going to get the damn tree home? You're in the slow lane and you're doing something like you're driving with your hazards on. What the hell are you hurting? It's Christmas. We all need to lighten up a little bit because we all have broken hearts and we're dying of heart attacks. All jokes aside, though, really think about this. Our world is getting out of control. It's making very little sense to anybody, and I think I've addressed some of the reasons why that is today. If you've liked the show, friends, please donate. I see you down there. I see you. Please donate. The correct views at hotmail.com. You can donate through PayPal. And when you do, I put the money towards a better show. So maybe I can get better gear that doesn't suck and I'm not in a library. How about that? See you, friends.